So I came into Asheville for New Year's and to check out the music scene there, play some music on the street, do some open mics. So first thing I did is I went and checked into Sweet Peas Hostel. That's where I was staying, right downtown, right where all the action is. First place I found was Woolworth. That's I would say that's the most popular place to busk in Asheville, is right in front of the Woolworth building. Then I kept walking around and I found Mass General Store. That's one of the places that I really like. The Mountain Music Man was playing there, doing his little twangy thing, and some guy came around, was asking him like how long he was going to be there. That's a pretty common thing in Asheville, these people going around trying to figure out if your 2-hour limit is up. So I met you at the Iron in Asheville.
Yeah.
Remind me.
Show them the Iron real quick. Oh, well, they'll see it in the other picture.
I'm going to cut to the Iron.
Right. Fancy. Yep.
I'm going to cut to a photo.
This guy's a pro.
Give it up for the dark side of the force. Cruising in the Executor, blessing reps, port and starboard. Rhymes so dope, you choke on your plans. See, I use the force. No need to lay a hand on a Jedi. Send in the stormtroopers, and you saw, they die. Got a crew so big, even Han runs from me. The Falcon was fast, but not too fast for Boba to see. Hit it, Fett. Boba Fett comes in. May not be faithful, but I'm employed by the Lord. And then he flies off, and Darth Vader comes back in. Then I turned it around and dropped a real bar. See, I kill my masters when they aren't too keen. Don't believe me? Ask Palpatine. Dun 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 dun.
These folks say it won't last forever. I think about it often. On a Sunday lounging around the house, pick up my phone and I call 'em. Hear their voice on the other line. We shared so many years together. Tell me how you been, Dad. Tell me, Dad, how's the weather? I've always wanted to busk at the bookstore. I like the bookstore, but I wasn't right in front of it. I was like a little bit on the other side of the block. I played about 20 songs there. That night I hit up the open mic at the Gastropub at Hopey. Give me raw human emotion, give me something I can feel. Give me a bottle I can lean on, give me a discount, liquor, cigarettes, and beer. They were really good to me. They let me go up at the end for a few more songs. And then after that I went to see the Jackson Grimm Band at Jack in the Woods. Jack in the Woods is a really cool place that's like, in my view, it's where everybody goes at the end of the day when they don't know where to go. It's like kind of a lot of tourists that go there, and I think that they're like kind of really excited to be in Asheville. It's like really feels like some major Asheville vibe. Next day I played some more music on the street at the same spot as the previous day because all the other locations were pretty well taken up. And, this one went all right. I actually kept track of how many songs I did because I wanted to see how many I could play before just complete exhaustion. I think I broke a record for most songs I ever played. I did 26. And this is, a good practice for me because I want to get ready for a 3-hour gig. And I just get really tired after playing for like an hour and a half. So if you want to just build it up so that you can get used to playing for 3 hours and not get exhausted, and then playing on the street kind of makes a lot of sense. I actually didn't make very much money. I think I made overall across the 2 days, I think I played for about 3 hours and I made like $30. And a part of it I think is because of the location, and a part of it I think is also because of the type of crowd in the Christmas season, the holiday season. It's like a holiday crowd. Not as much as like the genuine Asheville crowd, but more of the like, let's do something for Christmas crowd. So I heard that people make more money in the summer there, and that was my experience as well. I visited in the summer, and I got a video for that I did too, so I could put a link to that below. If you think about it in terms of I need just practicing my songs, instead of practicing at home, now I'm practicing on the street, and the fact that I'm making money to just practice, that works out really well, and that's a good way to view it. And I gave away some download cards. I met some guy from Philadelphia. He stopped to sit and listen to me, and he seemed to be really enjoying it. And that was a really cool and exciting thing. about him stopping because he just wanted to visit Asheville on a whim. He wanted to meet this guy who wrote this book about bluegrass, and he had his instrument with him. So it was kind of this older guy who just had free time on a holiday the holiday break. Came out to Asheville kind of just like I did, and was interested in music and supported my music, and he was just really cool and also excited to be in Asheville. And that's kind of what you meet there. I was staying at the hostel. A hostel is $40 a night, so it's pretty good, especially for what you get. You get like a private shower. It's a nice restroom. You can hang out, watch TV, and it's comfortable, and you get curtains around your bed. So as long as the hostel's there for a reasonable price right there downtown, Asheville is a really great place to go and to run into these people. A lot of people who were staying at the hostel were these other people who were visiting because they wanted somewhere to go over break. They didn't have anything else to do. And so obviously they appreciated the vibe of Asheville. Or they were there because they were trying to find a job, like they actually wanted to move there. And so there's these people who are just really excited about changes in their life. The interesting thing about Asheville is how it is a mix between kind of tourists and wealthy people and these creative, less wealthy people and I think that that's a really exciting thing. I'm not sure of any town that has that mix like that, that's so strong. And I hope that it keeps going like that. I hope they keep supporting the street musicians, because basically when you're in Asheville and you don't know what's going on and you know that there's not music playing, like you can basically go and find music on the street and just hang out and listen to the music on the street. Because in my experience of all the cities I've been to, the quality of music on the street in Asheville is just better than any other city that I've been to. Like, it's actually worth stopping and listening. And these are real talented people who can get gigs, but they see that the benefit of street performing in Asheville is actually the same or maybe better in some cases than getting an actual gig. Certainly it's freer. It doesn't require you to work on social media to promote the gig and all those other factors. It's just easy to just do without any scheduling whenever you want to, and to stop whenever you want to too. So on a Sunday, I was looking for music, and I found some at Asheville Music Hall, which was really cool, just hanging out in the afternoon on a Sunday with some really great music, and found a Bloody Mary. Now, I'm not really good at piling on all the stuff for the Bloody Marys. They had a little selection, I know some people can just pile on everything and make a humongous, gigantic Bloody Mary out of the Bloody Mary bar, but I'm not super good at that. So I went to an open mic at Sly Grog. It was hosted by Michael Anderson. They had a bunch of cool stuff hanging out. They had video games, although it was no video games that I knew of. So I'm the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo person. Anything else, I just basically can't figure out and just doesn't work for me.
Downstairs for sausage and eggs and toasted bread. All you can eat pancakes, gone getting new pain. Gonna get new.
I can only do the games that are in 2 dimensions. Once it gets into 3 dimensions, it gets pretty tough for me. But Sly Grog was an awesome little venue, a good little intimate spot, and they had free condoms in the bathroom. That was interesting. Another night I checked out the open mic at Catawba. The crowd of people that were at that Catawba open mic, it was just so much people, so much energy.
I'll need your prescription for your broken conviction. 'Cause you're kind of drug will help me up anymore.
After Catawba open mic, I walked right over to Jack in the Woods open mic, and that was a big deal. Like, I really wanted to do that, and it was actually a tough decision because I got these tickets to this swing dance event called Lindy Focus that's going on. I already had a ticket for that night, but it's just so much different, the excitement I get from playing music and being in the music crowd compared to swing dancing.
I'm gonna listen to this guy and go. Get my tab.
What's up, everybody? My name is David Kewell. Hey, thanks. You guys out there. You guys ever get the blue balls? All the time. All right, that's cool.
And the cool thing about Jack in the Woods open mic, I got there like 20 minutes before it started, and it was just packed with people, and I like couldn't find any comfortable place to stand. It was pretty uncomfortable for me. So I'm like, what the hell am I going to do for 20 minutes? So I went outside, and they got benches outside, and I just played my guitar on the bench and entertained myself. And, you know, that made it work for me. And the bouncer guy checking IDs, people were walking by, they were like, what's going on tonight? And he would be like, oh, we got music, we got open mic, there's a preview, you know, like I was giving a preview, and I felt like I was trying to get people to come inside. And that was cool. And then this guy sat next to me, and he really enjoyed some of my songs, and we were talking, and he shared one of his songs. So that was just really cool and fun and exciting. And I've always thought about, like, at an open mic, it would be great just to go outside, stand outside and play and basically busk outside before your turn or before the open mic starts, because what the hell else are you going to do? You know, sometimes it's a long time that you just sit there. And the fact that I could do that there at Jack in the Woods, because people were walking by, there was already a place to sit outside, you could bring your beer outside. And so New Year's Day, I had plans to go to Lindy Focus. This was like one of my long time kind of bucket list things to do, was to go to Lindy Focus, which is the biggest swing dancing event in the United States that's held in Asheville every year, and they got a New Year's thing. You know, I think jazz music is just like a really sophisticated form of art, and so just the kind of barroom rowdiness that you get when you're hanging out somewhere else is just not there. It's a little bit more of a kind of conservative mentality, which is interesting because it was kind of an analogy for what Asheville is in general, which is like the kind of wealthy tourist people, you know, they're living their safe, secure lives. They can afford to go and spend a really nice night in Asheville and then still experience the kind of culture that's created by the less wealthy, more artistic kind of people. So in the swing dance event, you've got the musicians and a lot of the participants who are really like structured like that. It's like jazz, we follow the structure that's on the charts, and that's what we do. And it's like this historic, sacred thing that, you know, these names like Benny Goodman and all of them, you know, it's like they're idolized and attached to these figures that are, you know, been around for 80 years now, and so on. And so, but the people in the crowd are kind of structured too. Some of them, they dress in the period pieces. They dress in like the 20s clothes, and they get all excited about how they dress. But some of them are also very artistic and bucking the trends, you know, and there's like, you know, guys in dresses, and there's people being openly gay and fine, and, you know, all of that stuff. So that's the interesting thing about swing dancing, is that mixture of the two groups, that sort of psychological mixture is there, and that's also a component of Asheville itself. So it's interesting that the biggest swing dance event is located in Asheville. But I think a lot about the sort of differences between the sophistication of the jazz music and the kind of rowdiness of the bar music. And so when the New Year's was coming on, they bring out this grid. And for a half hour, people were there. All they did was they had people line up on the grid based on where they're from.
Number 11 is Michigan and the Carolinas. Michigan and the Carolinas over at 11. Number 12, we got Florida.
And so the sort of structure, the rigidness, the music with the lines and the forms that we follow very closely, the jazz mentality, just really was related to me to this fact that there's this structure of, we need to have the people from this location be standing in this location, and we're going to put up a grid with these numbers. You know, you've got some people that night getting super drunk, getting rowdy, the music is just getting crazy, and then you've got these people here who are looking up at a grid of numbers and trying to find the numbers that correspond to the city, to the state where they came from. That's kind of like one of the the things that I am just really sensitive to these days is how different forms of music are related to different sort of personalities and encourage different personalities. I had a great time in Asheville. I just think that it's a great city to hang out in, and so I really enjoyed just hanging out there and meeting the people and catching the vibe. So thanks for checking out this video. I post one video per week every Sunday, so hit the like if you want in on that. Hit the subscribe and hit the bell if you want in on that. Hit the like if you like this, and hit the share if you share. So thanks for checking this out.